And I'm Laura.
And we are TwoPaperGirls. Today we are doing the Crybaby book tag. We were tagged by Beth Anne. The original tag was started by Death by Books.
There's 15 questions and 2 of us, so we're going to try and speed through them so this video isn't really long.
Question 1 is Crybaby, a book that made you cry.
We have a joint answer for this, and that is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. This book, I mean, I've cried at quite a few books, but this book is definitely the one I cried the most at that I can remember. It just tore out my heart and stamped on it for the last entire 100 pages. I was just sobbing. I don't think I've ever cried so much at a book.
I haven't even reread it more than once. I read it a couple of years ago when it first came out. On the day it came out, sobbed my eyes out into my pillow, just read it an entire night, and it's just awful. It made me cry so much.
Question 2 is Dollhouse, a character that everyone thinks is perfect but you see their flaws.
I chose Stanley Kowalski from Streetcar Named Desire. Obviously he has his flaws because he's a dirty rapist, but people still love him because of his charm, and I'm like, is he charming though? I don't see it at all. I don't think he's nice in any way. I don't think he's charming. I don't fancy him. I don't fancy Marlon Brando, and you're all crazy.
My answer for this is Jace Whalen from the Mortal Instruments series. I know. I just, I quite like him, but for me the flaws just kind of outweigh it. He's too arrogant and annoying.
He can't be too arrogant.
He's too annoying. He just annoys me. He just moans about everything all the time, and I just want him to man up, but then he's also too manly, and I don't know.
Question 3 is Sippy Cup, a character you would like to get drunk with.
For this I've gone with Warner from the Shatter Me series because he's so reserved and army-like and just doesn't want anyone to know the real him and doesn't show his emotions, and I think if he got a bit drunk he might just chill out a bit and be a bit more relaxed and have a bit of a laugh with you rather than being all like, no, I am strong, I am brave. So yeah, I'd like to get drunk with Warner.
I would like to get drunk with the Rat Queens. I know that's cheating because there's 4 of them, but how fun would that be? That'd be a proper girls' night out, and I know it'd probably end up in some sort of demon hunting and I'd probably get myself killed, but they'd protect me and it'd be hilarious because I'd be drunk and probably high knowing Betty.
Question 4 is Carousel, a book that was a wild ride.
I chose 100 Sideways Miles by Andrew Smith. I don't have it with me, but it's a crazy book. This guy sees the world in miles instead of minutes, and that's weird. And crazy things happen, and it's just a bit of an emotional roller coaster. I never thought I'd say that. I hate that cliche.
My answer is The Next Together by Lauren James because you've got 4 separate timelines that all have crazy world-ending things, and they're all interweaving, and you've got everyone dying everywhere and just world catastrophes, and it's just crazy. You're just going up and down the whole way through.
Question 5 is Alphabet Boy, your favourite classic.
My favourite classic definitely has to be Hamlet because of all the reasons I've said a billion times in all the videos we've ever done. I absolutely love it. I love the characters. I love Shakespeare. I'm a massive Shakespeare nerd, and it got me into Shakespeare and into classics in general, and I'll just always love it.
My favourite is To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. This isn't really a classic, it's more of a modern classic. It was written 100 years ago, probably not even that. But it's so good, you need to go read it. Modernism is the best, apart from Ulysses, but I haven't read it, but I'm not going to. But yeah, it's brilliant.
Number 6 is Soap, a quote that you hate. I don't know what that's got to do with soap. A quote you hate, I couldn't really think of an answer for this.
Neither could I, but then we googled Twilight quotes because that's where all the bad quotes are from, right? And we were just scrolling through and I was like, oh, can I have that one, can I have that one? And it says, and so the lion fell in love with the lamb. How cute.
It's so cheesy.
It's just wrong. Tell them yours. It's better.
I've got 2. There's the You Better Hang On Tight Spider Monkey, because I used to love Twilight, but I always found that really weird. I'm like, what the hell is a spider monkey? It sounds horrible. I don't know if a spider monkey's a real thing, but
they are, but they don't need to hang on tight. They're proficient climbers themselves.
You could call her a koala or something. Why a spider monkey? Or there's another one which is we're the same temperature now from the last book, I think. That just makes me giggle.
Question 7 is Training Wheels, an adorable couple.
For this I've got to go with Aristotle and Dante from the really long book title. They're just such a cute couple, and it was such an unexpected couple as well because you think it's just a cute story about friendship and then it twists and you're like, oh, they really love each other. And it's just so cute when they like throw shoes around, and they're just really weird, but it's just adorable.
This is kind of cheating because I haven't even finished this book yet. Oh, how adorable are Aaron Julie. He's a zombie, but he's so lovely. He's more eloquent than anybody. He's more eloquent than me. He talks better than I do, and he's like got a syllable count of like 10 words, and I just love him so much, and they're so cute, and I'm so excited for when he turns back into human and they can be together. No spoilers, I'm sorry.
Question 8 is Pity Party. An unpopular book that you love, or a book that everyone else hates but you love?
I chose Maze Runner for this by James Dashner because everyone hates it and you shouldn't. It's really good. I don't understand why people don't like it. It's amazing. It's the best thing. Best dystopia. It's because everyone's read it after dystopian hype.
Yeah.
Like we read it before dystopia got all hypey.
And annoying.
Yeah, and annoying and samey. It was like the original dystopia and it's so good.
I agree with Amy on the Maze Runner, but I'm actually going with 0.4 by Mike Lancaster, and this is unpopular in the fact that no one has read it apart from me. Like, I just found this book in Tesco years ago, and I read it and I absolutely loved it, then there was a sequel and I absolutely loved it, and it was such like a mind-boggling sci-fi. It was just so good, and I lent it to Amy. She didn't really like it because she's not a sci-fi fan, but just more people need to read this book because I think a lot of people would really like it, just no one knows about it.
Question 9 is Milk and Cookies, a character you would poison.
I wanted to go for the obvious Umbridge for this, but that's too obvious. So I thought I would go with Arabin from the Assassin's Blade novellas by Sarah J Maas, and his weird torturer friend, and just all that goes on at the end in that last novella. Those two, I just hated them so much. And it's so sick and twisted what happens, and I'll quite happily poison the both of them, but I can't remember the other guy's name right now. Arabin and his torturer.
I would happily poison Annie from Winger by Andrew Smith because she treats Ryan like a child, and he is a child compared to her, but she's the most patronising git ever, and I can't stand her, and I think everything she stands for is a nightmare, and I hate it. Just because I didn't want to say Kath from Fangirl again. Annie from Winger.
Question 10 is Pacify Her, a bookish boy/girlfriend that you would steal.
I would steal from Hazel Augustus Waters from Tiffio by John Green because he's just the perfect thing. I love him. I love what he stands for. I love everything that he does for Hazel. It wouldn't be difficult nicking it off her because she couldn't run after me. And it would be so good to just have him love me. I love him. He just takes my breath away.
I'm going to say Kale from the Throne of Glass series. I'm holding up Air of Fire because that's the only one I have here. Haven't actually finished reading this, so I know a lot of people change their opinions on Kale with this book and the next one, and I don't know why. But as according to Crown of Midnight and what I read of this, I love Kale. He's just perfect man. He's all like brave and then like got a sweet side and gorgeous, and I really love Kale, and I would happily have him as my boyfriend.
Question 11 is Mrs. Potato Head, a book that needs a cover change.
For this I've got to say Delirium by Lauren Oliver. Not the, actually the US covers are pretty gross as well, but this original UK cover, I'll put a picture here.
Big face.
The big girl freckle face that's just like really zoomed in and freaks me out. Like the newer covers are fine, but that original cover, which is the one I have, it puts me off reading it because I just like, every time I see the book, it's just the most worst cover I've ever seen.
I chose a book that I haven't read either. It's called Obsidian and it's by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I've heard that name thrown around BookTube, and I think I've heard someone talk about Obsidian, and it sounds really good, but the cover looks terrible, and I will not read it for that reason.
Question 12 is Mad Hatter, a book that fucked with your mind.
I Am the Messenger by Marco Zuzak. This was so good. It was like, who's sending in the cards? Why is he sending in the cards? I need to reread it because I don't remember who it was. I do. Oh, it's really good. You need to read this. It was just so, and it's so floppy. I love this book so much. It's just, you will read it in a day if you read it because it just, you want to keep going, it's messing with your mind, it's so good. Read this book.
I'm going to say The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins because it's kind of, this book is made just to fuck with your mind because it's one of those books where you just like, you can't trust any of the narrators at all because they're all a bit weird and mental and whatever, but the main character, like, she's so unreliable. She can't even remember where she's been or what she's doing. She just like comes home and is covered in blood and you don't know why, and it's just so like trippy and you can't trust anyone. And then there's like obviously a big twist on what's going on at the end. It's just like, oh my god. And yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Question 13 is Playdate, a book you own that no one else is allowed to touch.
I don't have it with me, but I have this gorgeous box set of the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy with The Hobbit. I'll put a picture here. It's absolutely gorgeous. They're all hardback, and it cost me like £50, and I haven't even read them because I don't even want to touch them and mess them up because it's just too gorgeous, and I just love to display it in all its beauty.
My book is Seahorses by Louise Cooper. I forgot and now it's just come to me. No, not that anyone would want to borrow this book because it's for 6-year-olds, but it's so tattered and worn and the front cover's missing, which is a shame because it's beautiful. It's like a horse coming out the ocean. No one can touch it because it's mine and I love it so much, and I need the prequels. If anyone's stuck what to buy me for Christmas, you can get me the sequels to Seahorses.
Aww. Question 14 is Teddy Bear. A good character turned bad or a villain you didn't see coming?
I chose Raphael. He's not from this series, he's from the Mortal Instruments, but the vampire, Raphael, this is the other way around. I couldn't think of a character who was good and then was bad, so I'm thinking of a character that was bad and then was good. He wasn't really, but I love how he got redeemed in City of Heavenly Fire, and he's one of my favourite characters in the entire series, and I want to reread it just so I can follow his plotline more closely, because he's only a sub-character, but he's really good.
I'm going to go with a character from the Iron Trial. This is a sequel, The Copper Gauntlet. Spoilers if you haven't read the Iron Trial and want to, but basically it's the boy who I always imagined as really camp. I don't know why. He was just this boy, and he was really like cowardly and wimpy, and then he turns out to be like the evil guy's son, and that just completely blew my mind. He was a sick little twisted kid from the start, and it really shocked me.
Question 15 is Cake, a book that left you emotionally drained.
My answer for this is A Perks Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky, because of just everything. All the characters in this just all have so many different problems, and it is quite emotionally draining to read it because it's so horrible how unfortunate all these people's lives are. It just leaves you a bit, and it's not like Tiffio's, it doesn't make you cry, it just makes you feel like empty inside. But in a good way, because I love this book. But yeah, I'm very emotionally drained by this.
I chose a book called We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach, and I haven't heard many people talk about this, but it really drained me because you don't know at the end whether they've died or not. That's the whole point. Like, they're getting hit by an asteroid, but you don't know if it's going to hit, and it never makes it clear. And it's just emotionally draining because the shock twist at the end, I was just completely distraught. It was so emotionally draining. I cried.
So that's it for the Crybaby book tag. Hopefully this video isn't too long. Probably is though, because I think we've been recording for about 30 minutes. But we really enjoyed this. They were very different questions, which is always nice because some tags are always a bit samey, and this was a really good one. So thank you, Beth Anne, for tagging us.
It's a long time ago since you did, so thanks for doing it anyway. we did know we'd get round to it eventually. It's been really fun.
Let us know down below if you've got any fun answers to any of these questions, or if you want to do this tag, consider yourself tagged, and we will see you on the next video. Bye!
Kath's already dead to me. I don't like Cal because I can imagine he's not the type of boy to text back. Oh.